Okay, so Lisa, we are talking about how you crafted your research project that you brought to your company. So tell me what you were thinking about and why you thought that it was necessary to have a research project.
Yeah, I work in healthcare architecture and more specifically in hospitals. And just from personal experience and experience of my family, I've learned that the outcome of the patient and the recovery of the patient is directly tied to not only them, but the people that take care of them, whether that's their family members or the nurses, doctors, respiratory therapists around them. And so as we design hospitals and healthcare spaces, we dedicate a lot of space to the patient of the patient room, partly because it's patient-centered design, but also because that's billable space that can earn money for the hospitals. But what usually gets cut out of the project is the support spaces for the caregivers. So things like break rooms, lactation rooms, recharge places for the caregivers, that's usually cut out of a project because healthcare spaces are expensive. So when I was looking at this research project, I was trying to figure out how can we keep those spaces in the project? What value do they have besides just being fluffy, good looking spaces? And so that's kind of the heart of what we want to answer with this.
Yeah. So tell me how I want to hear how you pitched this research project to your leadership and then what happened, like how it evolved and turned into what it is now.
Yeah. So it's been a question or an idea in my mind for a while now. And as I've seen or heard or read new information, just kind of stored that away, biding my time. And an opportunity came around this summer when I attended a conference with some leadership, a virtual conference with some leadership in my firm. And when we were having discussions about it, I brought up the topic of social determinants of health and how it can relate to design. And so as we were talking, I kept bringing up my research project, and through kind of the passion I was showing and asking again and again, well, how can we keep this in the project? How can we work on this? It kind of seeped in, and the idea of my research project grew. Them being leadership, they took it and threw it back at me saying, well, that's a great idea for maybe a one-off research project, but what can we do to make this mainstream in our practice? So it was several conversations over a long period of time, but fortunately, I think with everything going on today, it's something that we need to look at. And it can be bigger than just one little paper, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. And it sounds like that paper, I know you mentioned that your leadership said, okay, great, green light. I know part of it was also, you're in the program and looking for your next career goal. And so green light, by the way, match up with this other person who's doing it. And then the two of you kind of raised the sense of what this project could do. And so just, before we break, let me know, once this research is finished, how do you see it being used to actually change outcomes in the projects you're working on?
Yeah. We've set up our first step, me and my partners. Our first step is to look at built projects and ask their clients, can we go back and research and look at how our design and how different things have positively or negatively affected the health of their patients? And then using that definitive data, we can go back to our future clients and say, look, if, for example, if you take care of your doctors, you can save X amount of money in your recruitment cost. If you provide this amount of square footage for your nurses, you will have this amount of better care or this percentage of better care in your patients. Trying to draw those bottom line, kind of like, I think it's the triple bottom line statement of how are these social cues in these community cues correlate directly to the cost of our
Yeah,
client.
I love that. Okay, well, thanks so much, Lisa, for sharing your process.
Thank you, Mia.